Hello everybody and welcome to Creativity Time. My name is Tatiana. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia and I craft and blog under Tatiana Creative Stamping Adventure. Today I am going to share with you some fun colouring tips. So you may have seen in the annual catalogue, the 2022 to 2023 annual catalogue, some beautiful paper called, I'm just checking, Perfectly Penciled. And this paper is amazing. And you can create some beautiful cards simply by using the paper and colouring it. So that's what we will be doing today. So let's flip down. So there is my supplies and I'm just gonna grab. So this is a card I shared on my Facebook last night, or on my socials. So Instagram and Facebook, and this is the only thing is stamped is the sentiment. The rest is this gorgeous paper, and I thought I'd share with you how I coloured it. So you may have missed the paper. It's not a suite in the catalogue. It's a standalone kind of item, so it doesn't coordinate with any particular stamp set. So you can use it in any way you would like. I'm just trying to find it. Here we go. There we go. Here it is. It's on page 133. Of the catalogue, and one side is just this beautiful floral images and the other is more of a black and white feel. But let's not look at it in a catalogue, let's take a look at it in person. So actually I don't want to pull out all of it, I'll just pull out one sheet of all each. And that one. Okay, I got it. So there's these leaves, these itty bitty flowers, this very patterned floral. These remind me of magnolias. I don't know if they are magnolias, but that's what they make me think of. It's this one. And my absolute favorite sheet is this one. So this is what I used to create that card. So I'd fussy cut one of these out, and I'd actually cut the paper down so it's in the background as well. And then I'll just show you the back. To be honest, I probably will never use the backs just because I love the fronts so much. But if you're a kind of a black and white DSP person, this is a paper for you. Having trouble, like there's some great patterns that would add just so much fun to your projects. So I'm tempted to use this one again, but I think we should use something a bit different just for fun. This one's got the miniature versions of these flowers. Let's see. Let's do some colouring of this one, or I don't know, maybe we should go back to the other one. Actually, yes. Sorry guys, we are going to colour, but we'll create a different project. So I've got that same sheet that I used before. Ooh, where is it? Pre-cut. Where is that sheet? There. So this is this sheet, and it's cut down. If I am thinking correct, it's probably cut to 4 inches by 6 inches. So yes, this is a 1/6 of the sheet. And I'm just gonna slide, no I'm not. I'm just gonna put that down. Okay, and for this, we are going to use our watercolor pencils. So Stampin' Up has 2 sets of watercolor pencils. They're in the catalogue as assortment 1 and assortment 2. And I like to mix and match them. So I'm just going to pull them out and place them on my table here. But I always keep them in their original boxes. I have not separated them. Probably a good idea. And then we're going to use this fun pen. It's called a blender pen. It comes in a pack of 3 and it's dual tipped but both tips are exactly the same. But essentially what we're going to use it is to blend the color, because these are watercolor pencils. So you can use them as regular pencils, or you can blend into each other. And that is what I've done with that card. It was, I blended multiple colors together, particularly over here. I've got some yellows, oranges, and pinks going, and I've got 2 different blues going here, and then with the leaves, I've got 2 different greens. So I'm going to start with the leaves. And what I did was granny apple green on the tips. And what's so pretty about this paper is that it's kind of got some shading, which still shows through your coloring. So I'm going to add the granny apple green to all the leaf tips where it's kind of still white. That's not a leaf, but that is. And your coloring does not need to be neat. I might lower my camera just a little bit more. This is as far as it actually lowers. Your coloring does not need to be neat because you're going to blend it all in. So it doesn't really matter. And then the second green I used was garden green. And I just added it to the bottom of the leaves, kind of where the shading is. And notice I'm not actually blending the 2 colors with the pencils. That's something you can do, but this is not what I've done in this particular example. So I'm just basically sharing my tips from this example. I don't know if that's a flower or a leaf, but I'll add some green to it. Adding. And what I did was I added all the color first, and then I went and did some blending. Now I'm going to add what was green? The garden green to the stems. Or what are they called? They're not called stems. To these parts of the flowers. I'm going to try to do different color combination from what I did previously. Let's go with pink flowers. So I've got Flirty Flamingo here. I've got Mango Melody. Oh no, I did more pinky flowers there. Let's go with some bluey purpley. Or let's try this. This is a combo I haven't used. This is Gorgeous Grape. So I'm going to go in with Gorgeous Grape. To the center of our petals. Hello, beautiful. Long time no hear, Kayla. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for joining. I've just looked up and your comment popped up. I love this paper. So this is a color combo I've never tried. So hopefully trying something new on live. That's really not new for me. I pretty much try most things live. So I'm just going to add purple, and I'm going to go with Flirty Flamingo. Actually, I don't think. I might bring the purple up a bit further. So it's only a touch of Flirty Flamingo at the top. So this is really not that hard, and it produces some beautiful effects. And as you can see, I'm really just putting some color down. I am not using any special techniques. Oh no, not positive for COVID, bummer. Hey Joan, how's it going? We have still managed to avoid the COVID thing. I'm not sure how. I have no tips or secrets. We've been living our lives, going to soccer and doing all our activities. One other tip is have fun. When you're doing coloring, just have some fun. The key thing is though that you're using watercolor based pencils, because otherwise the ink won't, well, the color won't blend. Oh, Oh, I don't think our school tells us how any outbreaks anymore, Kayla. It's just fend for yourself. Now I've got pumpkin pie here, and I'm going to, I feel that the butterflies need to be monarch butterflies. And I know monarch butterflies have black, but what we'll do is just add that in over the top. So something, oh, my camera's gone sideways, sorry. Did not realize. Yes, grab your pencils. Hey, I'd love to hear if you start joining me and coloring at the same time. That would be so much fun. And now I've got Daffodil Delight, which, as you can probably tell by the height of it, is one of my favorite colors from this set. And we're going to go Daffodil Delight, and then the Floaty Flamingo again. No, actually not the floaty, even though I just did the floaty. Let's go Melon Mambo. And it doesn't really matter that I've just done two colors. So I'm going to, I think these are daffodils. Don't care if they're not. Oh no, so Margaret's husband and 3 of her daughters and her grandson have COVID. It is that, it's the thing at the moment, isn't it? Don't know. Yep, don't know how I've avoided it. I mean, I've not avoided illnesses, but still no COVID. Anyway, so I'm just layering the color down. Oh, is that all the daffodils we have? Well, I'm not happy with that. I wanted more daffodils. Oh, let's do something fun here. Let's do the opposite. So I used the pink kind of in the middle of the daffodils. Oh, I've got some leaves there. But let's use the Melon Mambo on the tips of these flowers, and then the daffodil towards. So yeah, just basically color and have fun. And then once I've finished adding all the color in, I will show you how I blend it. Oh, have you? Well, it's probably because of this pretty paper. So Kayla's just said she's noticed a lot of people using the pencils lately. And I would say it's because of this pretty paper. Because it is so beautiful. And it's just shouts, color me in. And I missed some leaves, so I'm just going to go in and add the green. And it doesn't really matter if you miss things. Just, yeah, I'm not sure if this is particularly a fun live, watching me color. This is something I'd normally make it go faster. Your pencils, well, Margaret, you've got to go and find those pencils. And let's go, ooh, Calypso Coral. No, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go blues. Pacific and Balmy Blue. So I'm going to go with Balmy Blue, and what I'm going to do is do the Balmy Blue flowers towards the top there. And then Pacific, which is a darker blue. Right there. And these ones are Pacific. Thank you for the love. I'm seeing the love hearts. And that was Flamingo. Bit of purple. Kind of grabbing all the bits that I've missed. And I think that's the coloring part all done. So I know it looks kind of rough, just giving you a close-up view of all of that, but that is exactly how this one started out. Trust me, you're going to see it now. So I'm going to take my blender pen, and I like to just scribble it a little bit onto my grid paper first. That's just to make sure there's no color left on the tip. So the color does transfer. So we'll start with the green leaves again. And what I'm doing is I'm starting with the light and then I'm blending up the garden green, and then I'm going to wipe. So can you see how the colors picked up now? And so I'm going to, it's just a little bit of patience if you want to get that nice blended effect. You're going to have to wipe it off, because if I don't, that green will transfer to my next leaf. It's not so much a problem between the leaves, it's more that once I change, so see that one I just didn't blend then, or didn't wipe off, and the dark green got onto the tip, which is fine, it's no big deal. But if that's something you want to avoid, just wipe it off a little bit before moving on to, and so you kind of get into a rhythm, particularly when it's so close to the edge there. Now you don't want to rub too much, because otherwise you can start rubbing through the paper and getting paper peels, but just enough to blend that color out. Now so can you see the difference between that leaf with the scribble and now that leaf with the blended color? That is how it's probably the best example is that versus that. And that's all there is to it. It's really quite fun. Oh, I've got an idea. I'm now thinking, how am I going to finish this project? Do you know what, Margaret? I haven't used my blend pens in a very long time. And I had my retreat in February, and I had 2 customers who just absolutely loved borrowing mine. From memory, I think they both ended up ordering them. And it made me go, oh, I should use them too. It's been a while. Isn't that funny how you go through phases? Yes, it is so easy, Laura. Super, super duper easy. And you don't have to start off with paper. You can start off with a stamped image, stamp it away. You can create your own designer series paper, or just color in that particular image and go for it. So now that I'm finished all the leaves, I tend to do the same colors all at once and then go to the next one. So this time I'm going to give my blender pen a nice good clean wipe so that it's got no color on it. And now I'm going to blend out the butterflies, just because they're one color. And I want to give them a little bit of time to dry so that I can color in some black to make them more monarchy. Is that a word? Monarchy. Okay, so again, I'm now swapping, so there's that. Now remember, these flowers, I did the 2 different blues, so I'm going to start with the lighter blue and blend that through. And that's all. And now I don't need to wipe between, because I'm going to now go into the darker blue, so it doesn't really matter if the balmy blue gets mixed into the Pacific Point. It was just more that I didn't want the Pacific Point to blend into the balmy, because it's the darker color. So kind of think, well, I think, in my personal preference and opinion, I work from lights to darks. Okay, and now that I'm done with the blues, I'm going to clear off the blender pen. And now let's go into these flowers with the pinks. And as you can see, I brought the pink up into the yellow, and so it's a lot. If I do it here, get a bit of a better view. But this is really uncomfortable in terms of coloring. Let's see, can I zoom in a bit more? Can't lower my camera. Aha! There, I've zoomed in. So you can see, so I'm carefully starting with the yellow and then I'm blending the join of the, what color was that? That was Melon Mambo, yes. With the Melon Mambo and then brushing off my brush. Because the two mix. And even though I want them to mix, I still want to have that differentiation in color. I don't want them to become one color. So with this one, I'm just doing all the yellow bits and then I'm going in and kind of touching the pink. And so with this one, these flowers, I did the opposite. I had the pink on the outside. So I'm going to start in the middle and then bring out the pink. And because they're quite close together, I was able to just do all the yellow and then come back and do all the Melon Mambo. And that's that one. Oh no, there's some more up here, but let's just give that a wipe. Again, let's blend all the Daffodil Delight out. And now blend that Melon Mambo in. And I've got an idea on how we can finish this project in terms of cards. Okay, so we've got the big flowers left to do. And because the pink, the Flirty Flamingo, is the lighter color, I'm going to start with that. And I'm going to try to avoid picking into the purple. Let's do all of these petals. And now I can blend the purple, the Gorgeous Grape, into it. And see, that Gorgeous Grape, I must have gone heavy right there, so it's quite dark. So I'm going to wipe off my blender pen and just move that pink into it just to blend it a bit. And you can layer. So now that I've done these, I can go back and add some more pencil. So for example, which I'll do that in a second just so that I can demonstrate it. I am going to blend all the Flirty Flamingo. And now I'm going to blend all the Gorgeous Grape. How beautiful is that? It really gives this beautiful, soft, glowing look, doesn't it? Of course, you don't have to do this with your pencils. You could color it in just as you would have when you were learning to color. Okay, so now that that's all blended, I'm going to pick up the Flirty Flamingo pencil once again. I'm going to add some more Flirty Flamingo on top because I want to bring out that pink a little bit more. So I'm just going really right on top. I'm pressing quite hard. The Flirty Flamingo is quite a pale color in the pencil. Oh, we didn't blend that side. I'm going to do the same here. And because we've already done the under layer blended, I'm not going to blend this top layer in. I'm just going to leave it, but you can see it has given that extra pink onto it. So this is what I mean by layering. I've done the color and now I'm adding more color on top, but you don't have to blend it in. And because the underneath has been blended, there's not that same scratchy pencil look about it. So just make sure my tip isn't, I missed this one. Blending in all the Flirty Flamingo and then going into the Gorgeous Grape. And now adding some more Flirty Flamingo in. Colors are more vibrant as a pencil versus the blend, but you can layer and get that vibrance back. Okay, so I'm going to take basic black and add that to the butterfly here. And I know that the butterfly had the shading and I'm kind of covering it up with the black, but just to give it, and I'm not going to blend that with the blender pen, I'm just going to leave it as so. So there we go. I might actually look, kind of add some detail in with your pencil as well. So there. Now I have one more party trick up my sleeve. That's zooming in a bit. Just zoom out slightly. Okay, so now you can see the whole thing. So now I am going to take my basic grey pencil. And you're thinking, what? Why? And this is one of my favorite things. It's a very subtle little trick, but if we look over here, I have done it, and I've done it over here. I'm going to add some shadowing to the background to make the flowers and all the elements pop up off the page. Absolutely love this. So you've got to kind of think direction. Where is your light source coming from? And then shade from that. So I'm going to pretend my light source is over here. And so that means the shadows will be casting this way. So I'm going to grab the grey and color where the shadows would be casting. So, just like that. And you can see it's not very neat. It doesn't matter because we're going to go in and blend it out. So it's not a big deal. But the key point, if you're going to do this, is to make sure that it's all in the one direction. So at the moment I'm coloring everything to the right, kind of right bottom. I'm not going to start doing the top left because then that'll be confusing for the brain to go, hold on, that's all that way, but then the shadow's falling this way. So just be consistent in the direction of your shadow and the rest will be fine. And this, for this technique, it's good to use a blunt pencil, not a sharp pencil. So you can get, because at the beginning it was a bit sharper. Now, if you're asking questions, I do apologize. I'm not actually following comments. I'm just concentrating on my coloring here. And I will go through and answer them when the video finishes. Okay, so I've added the shadows and you can kind of see it popping already, but make sure this is, yep, got no color. And then I'm going to blend that so it's much more subtle. And you want to kind of blend it out away from the thing. And just think about the shape. So that butterfly, those leaves are pointy there and further out there. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm sure artists or photographers could take note. Now I picked up some blue there. Just do a light. So Lara is asking, I would have never considered shading. Oh, come back. There we go. I'd be worried I'd do it wrong. Look, there is no right and wrong to the creative process. Can I just say that firstly? Secondly, just be consistent in which side of the element that you are adding the shading to, and then just blend it out. Make it subtle, don't make it obvious. And even though it's subtle and people may not pick it up, it makes a difference, and they may not consciously realize it's there, but their brains will know it's there. It's a bit of a weird one. And it was very subtle in my project here, so you wouldn't have been able to pinpoint it, but I did do it because I wasn't sure what I was doing, so I kind of started by colouring in the sheet and then I added the fussy cutting. Oh, missed that spot. So it is important to blend it out. That's the one thing I will say. And if it's not blended out, it doesn't look like that soft shadow. But now, can you see that paper? And it looks like all those elements are sitting just above the paper and they're casting that little bit of a shadow. And it's just really fun. So I'm gonna just bring up the camera, well, as in lift it up so that we have a bigger view. Sorry, the camera's all over the place today. And now we're going to create a project with this. Well, we're going to actually create 2 cards because what's better than one? Now, our card bases are 10.5 centimeters. This is just slightly under. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now, I'm going to line this up with 5 centimeters and then use my cutting tool to mark 5 centimeters. So you can just see I've put a little nip right there, 5 centimeters from the bottom here. I'm going to do the same from this side. Oops, from this side. So I'm just going to turn the paper over and again 5 centimeters and do a little nip as well. Those are just little marks for me. You don't need to be able to see them. One is there and the other one is right there. And now what I'm going to do is line up that nip and that one along the cutting line. And I'm going to cut that on the angle. So we've got now 2 pretty cards to do or to create. Now I'm going to pick up, oh actually let's see, should I pick up on the grey shadowing and use Smoky Slate, or should we pick up on some of the colour, such as the Melon Mambo? Oh, no, don't like that. No, too, oh, in your face. Let's try Daffodil Delight. Probably end up just using the grey because the Daffodil Delight's not too bad. I do prefer the subtlety of the grey. What do we think? A blue? Margaret suggests blue. So I'm going to pick up Balmy Blue. Ooh, nice suggestion. You love the grey. I do too. That's why I used the grey on this project, but I wanted to do something different. So let's just do a quick vote here. Give me a thumbs up for the grey, which was Smoky Slate. So that's a thumbs up. Or give me a love heart for the Balmy Blue. Or we could actually just do one of each. Totally like, forget the voting system. Let's just do one of each. I'm seeing love hearts for Balmy Blue. Kayla's given me a thumbs up. So for those who are joining in, I've got voting what color we should go for. We've got thumbs up for the Smoky Slate and a love heart for Balmy Blue, or you can suggest we use one of each. And it's pretty close to even, so I'm going to go with one of each. So I'm going to quickly prep both card bases. So I score at 14.85 and then cut at 10.5 centimeters. And that gives me a top folding a portrait mode card base. This is centimeters, so I am using A4 cardstock because I am in Australia. So that's that. And while I've got my trimmer out, you know what I like to say, no project is complete until you have decorated the inside as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a 1.5 centimeter strip of the same DSP to go on the inside of our cards. But we won't colour those in. If I was organised and clever, I could have coloured those in beforehand and then just snipped off. But now I don't know, since this isn't a stamp set, I'm kind of not sure how to finish off the envelope. Normally I would put the DSP on the envelope flap, but this paper is so pretty to waste on an envelope. Crazy. And we're going to add that there, add that one there, and we need a sentiment as well. I'm just going to grab some basic white inserts. 1, 2. I keep them pre-cut in one of the old big wooden stamp cases so that I don't have to cut that every time, because I pretty much use one with every single card. Actually, I forgot to trim those down. They need to be at 14.35. And if you notice, I've got a little bit of masking tape on the top of my trimmer, and that is there so that I can cheat and not have to think about my common measurements. So the edge of the masking tape's at 14.85, so that's the half of an A4 sheet. And then I've got a little pencil mark at 14.35 so that I know I like to do my card bases 5 millimeters smaller than the full card front. So that way I don't have to think too much and it's all marked out. So I'm going to flip that. And we need sentiment. Okay. Flip. There we go. Add that inside so that we know that it's all finished and nothing to finish off there. Trying to think of a card, a stamp set for the sentiment. Thinking. I want to use some sort of ribbon or some bling. Just looking through my collection here. Ooh. So I've just pulled out this beautiful limited edition, and I'm thinking maybe a Pug hug. That could be really fun with these. A paper hug from me. That could be fun. Yeah, let's do that. Something different. Okay, now we need, I'm thinking, stylish shapes. This is a fantastic basic die set. Oh, let's see. paper hug will fit perfectly there. And then a little taggy bit. Yes, this is my new thing, which I haven't shared, but I've made a card and I keep trying to make more cards like this. So a paper hug onto a sticky block. Oh. And I think I'm just going to stick to basic white. Need to stamp that white twice, and let's keep it simple by going memento, because we don't want to detract from our beautiful colouring and all our efforts. There. That one's stamped better. Oh, doesn't matter. And I'm not going to bring it in. I've got it to the side here. I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I'm just going to quickly die cut that out. And I just want to point out, oh, come on. Oh, the piece is stuck. Okay, so these dies also die cut the outer edge. So the outer edge is a little stitching border and the inner edge is little dots. So it's very cute. So such a great basic die set. And if I was clever, I should have done the little banner at the same time so that I'm only running the machine through once. But, you know, hindsight thinking. Who does that? You kind of finish doing something and gone, I could have used my time more effectively if I had done X, Y, or Z. And let's see, let's move that yellow. And going to add that, let's see, maybe in the colour of the cardstock. Balmy blue. This is why I didn't run it through. Let's see. Will that fit? Yep. That will fit. I'm thinking, what do we think? Or is that too much blue? Ooh, I know. Oh, love it. Yes. I'll put the blue one on the back of the grey card and I'll do a grey one for the blue card. Whoops, where's the die? There it is. Oh, come on. It's getting stuck to the plate. Yes. Love that little subtlety. Okay, now I've decided that I'm not stamp. Oh, should I? No, let's keep it simple. I was going to do what's it called? I thought we could stamp here, a bit of like a backgroundy patterned something, but let's just keep it simple. So because this is 6 inches, it's not quite the same width as the card. Oh, sorry, 4 inches. So that gives, I've stuck it down with a little bit of a border. And the same with this one. Same with the smoky slate one. There we go. And trying not to center. So I'm going to add this first, and I'm trying not to center it. So trying to off center it. Just finding that best position for it. And let's put that up on dimensionals. I've got this dimensional sheet left over from a kit, so I'll just use that up. All those. So I've got the little flaggy bit following the angle of our cut, and then the paper hug can go right on top, and we can fit dimensional there and there. So that's popped up as well. Now if you wanted to, you could have cut that flaggy bit in half and moved it a little bit further so that it goes beyond a bit further, but I kind of like the littleness of it, the subtlety of it. So again, dimensional, just marking it with a pencil so that I don't have to try to use my brain power. It's mid-year, people. It's my kids finished school for term 2 this week, and I am having mid-year exhaustion. Like, we've been able to get up most of the term up at nice and early to get to school on time, but this week and last week I have been just not wanting. It doesn't help that it's winter here in Australia and you just don't want to, but we will add some bling, and we will add my current favorite bling, the Iridescent Pearls. Though, oh, let's do a vote, sorry. Let's do a vote. Should we use the Iridescent Pearls? Give me a thumbs up. Or my absolute favorite, the Iridescent Rhinestones, which I'm just getting out, which are these ones. They're a bit more iridescent-y, and give me a love heart for them. So thumbs up for Iridescent Pearls. This is a thumbs up. Or for the Iridescent Rhinestones, love heart. Ooh, it's about 50-50. One of each. Do you know what? I have never mixed, what are these called? Bling, what are they called in the catalog? Jeez Louise. I have never mixed and matched, well, the catalog just calls them accessories. That's no fun. So let's branch out a bit. Let's mix and match. Oh, I squeezed down my take your pick tool the other day, and clearly it took a while, but that's all right. So I'm just going to squish that down, and I'm going to do something I have never done before, witnessing a momentous occasion where I am going to use 2 types of bling on the one project. And let's kind of repeat that concept over here. And add it here. Have you ever mixed and matched your bling? Because I have never. This is really, whew, it's out of my comfort zone. It's like, I can't do that, can I? There, 5's enough on each. What do we think? Just letting you take that in. Wink of Stella. Oh, ooh. No, I'm going to leave it because sometimes less are more. Butterflies and bugs, but not pearls. Ah, that's a good one. Thank you so much for all the love. So there we go. I hope that you have learned something today. I am by no means a professional colour-innerer, because yes, that's a real word. But I do enjoy colouring in, and I do enjoy sharing my tips and tricks with you. So these are our finished projects. We got 2 cards out of the 1 sheet of DSP. So it was 1/6 of the 12 by 12 sheet. And then you get 12 sheets in a pack. So imagine how many of these you could make from 1 pack of that beautiful designer series paper. And that was the Perfectly Penciled, that's right, Perfectly Penciled DSP. And using the watercolor pencils and, of course, the most important tool of all, our blender pen. Really basic, simple things. As long as your pencils are watercolor based, you can do this as well. I've had an amazing time today with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week is school holidays, so it'll be Little Miss Pig time. Little Miss is so excited. She can't wait to be sharing with you again. And she's asked if she could create. So we've got 3 weeks of school holidays. We will have a video for you, whether we record it live or pre-record it and put it up to premiere at the time. It'll depend on what we're doing and who we're hanging out with and how things are flowing, but we will have a video for you every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time with Little Miss Pig. So I'm really excited to be creating with her again. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you the next one. Bye for now.